let's talk about Trump and Greenland. You know that has been everything that has been talking about for the past for some time. No, I wouldn't say that for the past couple of weeks because it's been longer. But it turns out it seems that the dude, that POTUS, that the Don, that the Orange Man has gotten what he wanted for free. But he's not going to pay anything, or the United States is not gonna pay anything for that. It seems, or those are the reports, it's official. President Trump's Greenland deal is going to be free to the USA. We're going to get everything we want for zero, other than the cost, of course, of the Golden Dome, which would be the equivalent of Israel's Iron Dome, which is this system of missiles in which if there's a hostile missile incoming, then they shoot a tiny missile that intercepts it mid-air, which is quite brilliant, by the way. But the Golden Dome, that has to be golden and with a big T of testosterone, or Trump, maybe. I'm not going to have to pay anything. We're going to have total access to Greenland. All right, that sounds like a deal.
Well, I'm not going to have to pay anything. We're going to have total access to Greenland. We're going to have all military access that we want. We're going to be able to put what we need on Greenland because we want it. We're talking about national security and international security. So we're going to not have to pay anything other than the fact that we are building the Golden Dome, and the Golden Dome is going to be something that's going to be very amazing. It'll be Israel times probably 100. And we need it. I think we need it. And it's all going to be made in the United States. We have the best weapons in the world. We have the best companies in the world. We want them to produce faster. And, we've put a mandate out. You're going to have to produce faster, whether it's the Patriots or the Tomahawks or the F-35s or anything else. We make the best equipment, but they have to make it a lot faster.
Yeah, it's basically a good summary of what is going on. So the new deal is, one, Denmark has to keep paying the population of Greenland $600 million per year. So yeah, Greenland is not going to be part of the United States. All right, United States gets sovereignty over whichever parts we want for U.S. military bases. Okay, you get to pick and choose. That's okay. We want to build a military base here, and that's it. Okay, that's what basically what the plan was about. USA gets mineral rights. I guess that is the same system like in Venezuela. They help get the minerals out. Everybody gets to benefit from that. China and Russia are not allowed in Greenland, which is also a matter of security. Now, the thing is that people are saying that, the Golden Dome, who is going to launch those missiles that could hit the United States? It has to be Russia, right? It would be maybe some kind of threat in the future, because I really don't see Putin doing anything about the war right now because, I have told you many times that he's quite busy right now. So maybe it's not Putin, but maybe they are thinking for the future. Maybe you never know what kind of crazy Russian, even crazier than Putin, that maybe you will miss Putin in the future. You never know, so it's better to not leave any, open spaces and just secure that with the Iron Dome. And it costs $0, besides, of course, building and allocating the resources for that military base out of the Greenland deal. Get your opponent to cede the territory and mineral rights for free while they still pay the native civilians a year in welfare payments and think you are the idiot for accepting. This is something I was about to make a video about Trump a few months ago, especially when he was talking about, you remember those 600,000, I think that was 600,000 Chinese students. He said that they needed in the United States. It was not 600,000, there were 300,000 a year. It was for 2 years. It was I think that Howard Lutnick set the record straight. But it is something that Trump does all the time. He stirs the pot. He says these outrageous claims. He walks them back. He forward. He moves. Everybody goes insane, and it's like creating this fog which at the end of the day, what he gets is what was intended at the beginning. And it's, in fact, a negotiation tactic in which you ask for something which is insanely outrageous. And when you finally get what you get, and what you were set out to get, then, oh, yeah, the Trump just had to settle for this. No, maybe this was the plan all along, but compared to, yeah, annexing or buying the whole of Greenland, that, by the way, even Putin was doing the numbers. There's a clip of Putin out there doing the numbers of how much would be Greenland worth right now. I think, but I don't know. It was it was an insane amount. I don't know. It was 400 million, billion. I don't remember. Putin made it, did the math. All right. So if the United States wants to buy Greenland, here's the number. So even he was okay with it. So that's what Trump gets. That's what Trump got, and so we can just, I guess, that we can move forward from the Greenland deal. But at the same time, you see that it was the reaction of the EU, of the European Union, and how, I mean, I love Europe. I have to tell you, I think that Europe is so beautiful in every single way, in nature, in architecture, in art, in, oh my God, in cuisine, and the food, everything. Europe, I would say that, I would argue that all of Europe is so beautiful, but Europe has been strangled by so many, this bureaucracy and paperwork, as we are going to mention, and it seems that the German chancellor has agreed that this was a bad idea from the start. Like all this regulation is the word. All these regulations had just made any sort of improvement, any sort of innovation impossible. Not to mention the energy part, that they have been this crazy self-immolation of in energy. And well, it seems to be getting it. I have been surprised.
We are aware of those problems. Both Germany and Europe have wasted incredible potential for growth in recent years by dragging feet on reforms and unnecessarily and excessively curtailing entrepreneurial freedoms and personal responsibility. We are going to change that now. Security and predictability take precedence over excessive regulation and misplaced perfection.
This is the kind of things that I applaud this. This is great news. This should be great news for Europe. But they have been pushing for all these regulations for decades. So it's my question, what changed? Did they just did a 180 all of a sudden? I mean, people and countries don't work like that. You don't suddenly realize, you know what? All the regulations we've had for the past, 20 years, they did not work. Oh, yeah. No, you don't say. Yeah, that is what has been happening. And I remember when I arrived in Europe, I was testing these different countries, how easy it would be to be an entrepreneur. And they, in theory, many countries had these programs for startups and entrepreneurs, and everything was so great until the moment that you begin dealing with the actual red tape. So in theory, in the paperwork, they had nice programs and nice incentives, and I was, okay, this is great. Europe should be doing great, I guess. But where are all the entrepreneurs? Where are all the startups? There's a reason why there are not that many startups like in other parts of the world, and it's because of all the red tape. We want Europe to be great once more as it once was. And one of the things that Europe has to get rid of, besides the paperwork and the red tape, is the guilt. All that guilt, especially Germany, France, especially Germany. I think that, that Germany has always been like kind of the unsung leader of the European Union in many ways, and they just follow the lead of Germany. And if Germany still has this guilt, this unresolved guilt, that I don't know what kind of therapy. How can you subject a country to therapy? I don't know. But the thing is that it's urgent. There's something that if they want to change, with that huge parliament, they have to change it right now. So maybe the effects you could be seen in 5 years from now if they are quick enough.
We must reduce bureaucracy substantially in Europe. The single market was once created to form the most competitive economic area in the world, but instead, we have become the world champion of over-regulation.
We have become the world champion of over-regulation. It's incredible to see Merz saying this. That I'm not gonna say I think that is great. And I said that some of you have strong opinions about Trump in the comments, and I thank you for being so polite about this. You are polite, saying that maybe you disagree with Trump, but at the same time, this is the Trump effect. I'm gonna show you the Trump effect in real time. The Finland president. Look at this. This is basically 11 minutes apart.
First is a direct answer to the question of this panel: can Europe defend itself? My answer is unequivocally yes.
Without the Americans?
Without the Americans, I mean...
How?
Well, look...
But you're relying on them for these key elements.
This is one thing. He just said that, yes, the European Union European countries can defend themselves, and has to be very clear. You mean without the United States, you mean? And to be fair, he did not say, yes, without the United States. He did not say that, but he said this 11 minutes later.
You said earlier that Europe can defend itself without the Americans. If it comes down...
not exact, Mike, so that's not a quote.
More or less, more or less. We'll go back to the transcript.
Let's stick to the left on this one, yeah?
More or less.
Yeah, to be fair, to defend this guy, he did not say that. People are trying to, have this gotcha moment, but that is what causes this effect. The confusion can be a very efficient negotiation tactic in many scenarios, in absolutely many scenarios. And yes, if maybe, as some of you are saying, oh, Trump is insane. I don't know. I don't know about you, but maybe that insanity is what is going to do a course correction over everything that was happening during the Biden administration. But maybe you didn't like Biden either. Maybe you are one of those people who didn't like Biden. Maybe you don't like Trump as well. But I think that everything should boil down to their results. Again, you don't like to, you don't need to like somebody or your doctor or your surgeon, as long as he's capable to perform the surgery. Are you capable? Can you do the surgery and do it well? Yes. Well, I really don't care. I'm not here to be your friend. Maybe that's the approach that we can take. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and